Back here on CBS Sports HQ, big news for Eagles fans. Philadelphia, they have signed wide receiver DeVonta Smith to a 3-year extension. You see it there. The deal is reportedly worth $75 million with $51 million guaranteed. Now, this keeps Smith in Philly through the 2028 season. The former Heisman Trophy winner has posted 2,000-yard seasons since he was drafted back in 2021, proving to be a valuable weapon on offense for Philly's pass attack. And let's welcome in our NFL analyst, Brady Quinn, to talk about this deal and some others that are coming down. DeVonta Smith signing a 3-year, $75 million extension with Philly. BQ, your reaction to that deal?
I love it. I love the fact that when you look at the Philadelphia Eagles this offseason, Mailata, Dickerson, now you get DeVonta Smith being signed to extensions, and they've done it so without creating much of a fuss. I mean, in contrast, we're probably going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys and some of the issues that their players are facing right now, getting some of those extensions. We haven't really seen that. So Howie Roseman, once again, knows how to construct a roster, knows how to get business done. The longer you wait and the closer you allow players to get to free agency, the more expensive it's going to get. And on top of that, why frustrate players? Why make it a bad working environment where guys end up having to hold out? You have to go through potentially finding them. There's no need for it. Just find a deal that works for both parties. Get it done. And in this case, DeVonta Smith, with an average annual salary of $25 million per year at the wide receiver position, makes a lot of sense for him. He's got 2 years of guarantees built into it. And so another weapon for Jalen Hurts and another way of not creating a bunch of chaos or any distractions outside of just playing football. That's the other thing that I love about this is they've got everything set up now to try to go back and make a run after a disappointing season last year.
Again, $51 million guaranteed, keeping him in Philly through 2028. Let's talk about those Dallas Cowboys that you alluded to, Brady Quinn. There is a report out there that CeeDee Lamb skipping OTAs as he awaits his new contract. Is that surprising, or it feels like this is kind of par for the course when some players are just waiting for a new contract?
Not surprising. This is pretty typical. It's the only leverage you can exercise is saying to the team, I'm not there, right? Like, this is what the team looks like without me. Now see how competitive that you can be. And for CeeDee Lamb, it's a nice threat to the team, or I guess to exercise that leverage, but this is a voluntary portion of the season. So it really doesn't mean much until you showcase them that you're willing to miss actual time that matters, times where you can get fined for. Like, for example, the mandatory minicamp that will be coming up at the end of OTAs. If he misses that, okay, maybe more of a threat to the team of, yeah, I'm willing to sit out, miss time, take on potential fines in order to get paid what I'd like to be paid. So this is a very typical step you'll see players go through. They'll miss the voluntary portion of things. Someone will show up for the mandatory minicamp, some won't, but either way, that's the only leverage you have to flex as a player who's in CeeDee Lamb's position right now.
Let's talk about T. Higgins, because maybe some mixed signals coming from him. Said he is playing for the Bengals under the tag this year, but then earlier in the offseason, he had requested a trade after Cincinnati used the franchise tag on him. What do you make of that whole situation with T. Higgins and the Bengals?
Well, what other recourse does he have? I mean, you could try sitting out like Le'Veon Bell did, but then you miss out on a guaranteed or fully guaranteed 1-year deal that pays you close to the top of the market under the franchise tag. So I don't think that bodes well for him. Let's not forget either, it's not like, he had the biggest season last year for Cincinnati. He played well when he was healthy, but he did miss some time. The production wasn't quite there either. So it makes it really hard then to warrant the type of trade value that I think he might be looking for and that longer-term contract that he may be looking for if you're not coming off a huge season. So why not go back to a team that you're going to have the opportunity to play with Joe Burrow? That's going to equate to a lot of success. And if your team makes a run in the playoffs, maybe even win a Super Bowl, obviously things are going to go well for you too. Whether you're in Cincinnati under a second year under the tag or a long-term extension or not, you still would find your way into free agency and potentially find your way into a huge contract then. So it makes more sense that he shows up, plays under the franchise tag for a year, and sees what this Bengals team can do.
Yeah, team missing 5 games this past season because of injuries. Let's talk about the Colts and D tackle DeForest Buckner agreeing to a 2-year extension that is reportedly worth $46 million. Brady, how much are the Colts going to benefit from this?
Huge. I mean, he, to me, is one of the cornerstones of that defense. When you look at the interior pressure that he can create, the job that he does against the run, and he shows up. He's healthy. He's there. That's a big piece of this, too. So kudos to him. Since DeForest Buckner has gotten to the Indianapolis Colts, he's been one of the staples of that defense, really kind of holding things together while they've faced injuries on both the offensive and defensive side of the football. So happy to see a player like this cash in. I think a huge piece for Shane Steichen's team heading into his second season as head coach.
Yeah, first team All-Pro and 2 Pro Bowl selections for him. Brady Quinn joining us here on HQ, keeping us updated. All the big news coming out of the NFL in the offseason. Thanks so much, Brady. We appreciate it. And, of course, for more offseason headlines, recaps, everything you got to know leading up to the regular season, make sure you check out the Pick 6 podcast. The crew has got you covered. Brady Quinn pops in there sometimes as well. You can download and listen wherever you find your podcast.